And so this is one way to start undoing all of the conditioning that you have learned that is going to try and get you to make yourself different by being harsh inside. Hello, you sexy and gorgeous creature. Welcome to Practice Intimacy. This is the place to be to learn all about love, sex, and how to have the best relationships you possibly can. My name is Jami Lynn, and today we are talking about self-love practices. Self-love practices are one of the best things that you can do, not only for yourself, because it's going to soothe your nervous system, it's going to increase your autoimmune regulation, it's going to increase your ability to hold yourself in difficult moments. So it'll do all of that. And when you're in that space, it's easier to show up in the relationships you care about. It's easier to show up for your kids in a calm way. It's easier to show up for your partner with tons of affection and joy. It's easier to show up for your work, your purpose, in a way that is energized and fulfilled because you are internally nourished. However, what I have discovered, not only in my own life, but with my clients, is that self-love can be pretty hard, especially if you're a person who has a history where love was conditional, where you received love only if you showed up in a way that your parents or peers liked, if you got good grades and achieved, if you're good at art or music or sports. Sports are often a thing that people value a lot, or academics, whatever the thing is. So often we get messages that love is conditional. Love is dependent on how much value we provide into the world. Whereas true self-love, when you really begin to practice this, it's an acknowledgement of your inherent value. So when babies are born into this world, they aren't doing anything of value. They're not contributing to community or anything like that. They're just these precious little beings who are sleeping and eating and pooping, and that's it. And yet they are so valuable that we take immense care of them. So depending on what you received, you either learned that you have to be a certain way, do certain things, produce something in order to be loved, or you learned that you are inherently lovable, that you are lovable simply for existing, and there's nothing you need to do in order to get that love. And usually what happens is people are pretty good at loving little babies, and then they get a little older and they start asserting their autonomy, and they're harder to deal with, and some of the unconditional love goes away. And they get a little older and they're teenagers and they're really asserting their autonomy, and maybe they're even rebelling against their family, and some of that unconditional love floats away. And then you get into partnerships and your partner wants something from you, and that unconditional love starts to really float away. And you end up in this space where you're like, well, how do I get the love I want then? Do I need to be more attractive? Do I need to make more money? Do I need to learn the next thing in therapy so that I'm a better therapist and my clients love me more? I don't know who I'm talking about, but are you doing that? Are you chasing love, trying to get it by being more or being better? Or are you cultivating deep love inside of yourself where you know that you are worthy and valuable exactly as you are, and that you don't need to do any more in order to get love? And instead, you're just swimming in a space where you feel deep inherent worth and lovability, and you are showing that to yourself every single day. My hope is that you're in the second place. My guess is you're probably not, because it is truly a practice. It is not something that just happens easily. It takes time to cultivate this sort of joyful self-acceptance and love. And so I want to share with you one practice that has made such a significant difference in my life so that you can start applying it to your life. What you do is every single time a part of you shows up that maybe you don't like, whether that's like a physical aspect of your body or a mental part of you. Maybe there's this critical voice inside that you don't like very much. Or maybe there's a part of you that can be a little bit lazy and you don't like that very much. Or maybe there's a part of you that can sometimes lose your patience and yell at your kids and you don't like that very much. What you do is you turn towards that part of your mind or body with some compassion, with some curiosity, with some understanding around how it's trying to help you. Usually it has something to do with either I'm trying to motivate you to be better so that you'll belong more, or I'm trying to motivate you to show up in a way that's really loving for your kids. And rather than picking apart the way it does that, well, I wish you wouldn't criticize me. Instead of doing that, just focus on the intention. I so get that you're trying to help me belong. Oh, I so get that you're trying to help me show up as a really good parent. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And you can also acknowledge the cost. The way that you tell me that I'm not showing up with integrity as a parent does not feel great. But the intention, I totally get. I totally get why you want this from me and how you're trying to help me. And then you put love towards that part of yourself. Thank you for trying to help me. I so get that. Thank you. And so this is one way to start undoing all of the conditioning that you have learned that is going to try and get you to make yourself different by being harsh inside, by being critical inside. Instead of doing that, what you do, you don't try and make the criticism go away. You don't try and make the harshness go away. You don't get to love by being more upset and judgmental on the inside. No, you get to love by being loving towards every single part of yourself, by understanding how it's trying to help you and meeting it with kindness and care and compassion and gratitude. The more gratitude you have on the inside, the easier it's going to be to show up for yourself in a loving, caring way. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Tell me how it goes. Please leave me comments. Let me know what it's like as you begin to practice this. If you have questions about what exactly I mean or how exactly you might use this skill, leave me comments. I want to hear that. I want you to really learn how to do this so that you can deeply love yourself, because it's going to affect not only you, but everyone. When you learn to love yourself, when you learn to truly show up with this sort of kindness and care in your life, it's going to affect everyone you bump into, and it's going to make our world a kinder, safer, more loving place. And so please, take time to leave me comments. Take time to ask questions. I love that, and I will respond. What else feels important to say? If you want to take this practice even deeper, check out my course, Intimacy Now. It is all about learning how to use sexuality and romantic partnership in order to love and value yourself. Using those spaces as a catalyst to really create more love and acceptance and kindness inside of your nervous system. So check out that course. There is a link below where you can go and watch a little bit of what this course would be about. There's a video all about what you'll learn. And I feel like that's it. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to Practice Intimacy. Like this video, send it to people you care about, and I will see you next time.